Chapter 4. On the dock, Olivia was cleaning her boat and restocking the cooler with fresh ice and beverages when she noticed Brian approaching. Brian rarely made it down to the docks, so a wave of panic washed over her.
Did they tell him I took the tip?
Olivia, do you have a minute to talk?
He spoke in a more serious tone than usual and avoided making eye contact. Something was wrong. She nodded and tried to maintain her composure.
I do. I'm just getting the boat ready for Henry tomorrow.
Brian paused before taking a deep breath.
I got a call from your dad this morning. I'll take care of all this and take Henry out tomorrow. Go up to my office and give him a call. The news should come from him.
He offered a small smile and placed a hand on her shoulder.
Come find me afterward, and we'll discuss what's next.
She felt her heart sink. Thoughts rushed through her mind as she tried to figure out why her father had called. What news could he possibly have to cause Brian to act like this?
Okay, Brian. I'll give him a call.
She said, her voice quivering. Olivia stumbled on a loose board when she stepped out of the boat. Brian grabbed her arm and steadied her.
Thanks, Brian.
She managed to say. With each step away from the docks, she felt the ground beneath her become more unstable. The gravel path winding toward the lodge stretched forever, as if time itself had slowed down. Her heart thundered in her chest, but the noise of her boots on the gravel was even louder.
Was it about Mom? Is it his job? Was there an accident?
She arrived at the lodge and trudged down a dimly lit side corridor. Her hand trembled when she reached for the door labeled Management. Pushing it open, Olivia entered the cluttered office. Torn envelopes and candy wrappers were scattered in piles over the desk. Her eyes locked onto the black phone resting on the desk, and she hesitated for a moment before picking it up. With trembling fingers, she dialed her father's number. As it began to ring, Olivia took a seat, anxiously waiting for him to pick up.
Hello?
Said a familiar voice on the other end of the line.
Dad, it's Olivia. Brian mentioned you called. Sounded serious. Everything okay?
Hey, Livy, how have you been? Are the king salmon starting to run yet?
He asked, his voice surprisingly casual.
No, they're already done. We've hooked into several pinks lately, and I think the coho should be running any day now. Fishing has been red hot for everything else, though.
She paused for a moment, her hand now steady.
Dad, tell me what's up.
She urged, growing impatient with his stalling. There was a momentary silence on the other end of the line.
Olivia, I don't know how to say this, but I have some bad news.
She heard him take a deep breath.
Grandma passed away this morning.
Olivia felt the air rush from her lungs, the weight of the news hitting her like a speeding freight train. Tears pooled around her eyes before spilling out onto her face. Her grandma had been her confidant, her rock, and her biggest supporter. She had helped her navigate through the hardest points in her life, and the thought of life without her seemed unimaginable.
Oh my God, Dad. What happened?
She passed away in her sleep. It was peaceful, at least.
Her dad replied, his voice heavy with sorrow, and she could tell he was holding back tears of his own. Olivia fought to compose herself, but the tears kept flowing uncontrollably.
I can't believe she's gone. We were supposed to talk on Sunday.
She said, her voice barely above a whisper. The pain of losing her grandma felt unbearable, and the suddenness of it all left her stunned and heartbroken.
I know, Livy, I know.
His voice cracked.
We'll get through this together.
She wiped away her tears and exhaled, willing her tears to stop.
I'll be there for the funeral, of course. When is it?
Next Thursday morning. I talked to Brian, and he said it wasn't a problem.
Okay, I'll talk to him about making arrangements to fly down as soon as I can. Thanks for letting me know, Dad.
Olivia said, her voice still shaky.
Of course, Livy. Take care of yourself, okay?
I will. Love you.
She said, ending the call before her dad could reply. She continued to sit in the solitude of the office, and she heard a couple chatting as they walked by. Her body was glued to the chair, and the immense weight of this loss permeated deep into her soul.